everyone, it's Keely here for Soy and Shea, and thank you so much for joining me for today's soap making video. Today we're going to be making one of the Patreon design soaps that I do. Now I asked my patrons to give me suggestions for an embed they'd like to see me put on top of a soap. Now I put everyone's suggestions into a soapy jug, and the one that came from Sharon, who runs Bath and Bubble Boutique, and I've left details of her business down in the description box so you can go and check her out. And she wanted to see me use some cherries or make some cherries for the top. Now this suggestion did actually pose a little bit of a problem to me, not in terms of making the embeds, but in terms of finding a cherry fragrance oil here in Australia that is actually body safe. We can get Bite Me from a couple of the companies that do import them, but it is extremely expensive, at least double the price of all my other fragrance oils. But after a lot of searching, I did find black cherry over at Aussie Candle Supplies, so I got myself in a bottle of that, and it smells almost like Bite Me. It's really, really nice, but it's a naughty fragrance. Let's go and check out how I make my Cherry Blast soap. Let's go. Okay, so I have already been making quite a few of these. I plan on making a little bundle of 2 cherries on the soaps, and I've worked out this is the perfect size so we don't end up with any cut pieces. I need to make another 6. They don't look like much right now, but once they're on the soap, that's when we'll finish off those finer details. But I thought I'd show you how I was getting this sort of shape for the cherry. So what I've got here is some of the red soap dough from off of Pimp My Soap, and what I'm going to do is to get that sort of perfect size for my size soap bars, I'm going to break off some 1-gram pieces, and then we'll start shaping them into our little cherry pieces. And as I said, I need 6 more to do, so we'll do all 6 now. So now that we've got our little 1-gram pieces, it really is very simple. When you look at a cherry, they're generally like little heart shapes, but not quite a pointed bottom heart shape. So what I'm going to do is start off by rolling myself a little ball, and then I get it between my finger and thumb, and I'm just going to squish it down a little bit flat just so that it sits nicely on the soap, and going to kind of round off the bottom with just a little bit of a pokey bit at the bottom. And then I'm going to grab my little tool here, and what's going to be the top, I'm going to put myself a little dent, so we're kind of like making little butt cheeks. It's a really humid, sticky day today. We're not quite in summer, we're only in spring, but it's been raining all day, and we've got that really sticky, horrible feel, so everything's just horrible and yuck. But can start to see that sort of shape forming there. Just going to give it, you could leave these as a little bit rounder if you wanted to. I tend to pick my cherries out that are that little bit more flat when I go buying them. Just give that a bit more shape. Once I'm happy with the shape, all I'm going to do is put myself a little hole in the top, and this just means when I go to do some stems later on, I can actually fill that little hole up that's in there, and then know that my soap dough and my fresh soap will stick together. So that's one. Let's do another one. So again, I'm going to roll it into a ball. I squish it down between my finger and forethumb, kind of making the bottom a little bit pointy but not too pointy. And then we're going to get this tool again, anything that's round really, and just making that little bit of a dent, rocking it in the middle there, and just keep playing until you are happy with the sort of shape that it's got. Right, I'm happy with that one. So they really are very, very easy. It's once we actually get them onto the soap that they are going to really come to life. So it's another 4 more to do. I'm going to do these ones off camera, and then we will go and get on to making the soap. got all of our little cherries ready. Let's get on to mixing this together. We're going to do our oil and lye water, which have all come down to room temperature. Once it's mixed together, we're going to split it out for a few colours. Okay, so into my small jug here, I have got some chartreuse green mica. We're going to be doing some stems and some leaves, and I'm going to say, as always, I have poured off way too much. Let me see if I can siphon some of this out without getting that green. Not that it's really going to matter much. All right, that's better. I always do that. All right, let's get some white going as well. We're going to do a bit of a drop with that. I have got some really red in this pot. We'll do a bit more of that one. And then into my big pot, I am going to do some really red mica, and I'm also going to do some eminence because I kind of want a purpley sort of red in here, and this combination always seems to go really well. I was originally going to do a white base, but look at the color of that. This is black cherry, and it did say that there was no vanillin and no ET vanillin, but with the color that is, I'm gonna say there is one or the other. Gorgeous is that cherry red. So because of how dark this fragrance oil is, I am not putting any of that into the white. It's going to go all into the reds. This smells absolutely amazing. It actually does smell very much like Bite Me. It's got notes of cherry, pomegranate, sugar plum, raspberry, black cherry, black tea, and it says metallic notes, whatever that might be, and some cashmere musk. That's our green. Let's put that to one side to thicken up. Oh no, look at that. How bad is that for icing? Let's see if we can beat this out and get it into the container. That is terrible. Let's hope this doesn't thicken up. Alright, I think we're going to get lucky. Fingers crossed. Anyway, so that's still looking good. Let's grab one of these bowls before I jinx myself too much. I'm actually going to try and do a drop pour today. So let's get this in. Luckily that has all come out. All of that ricing has come out of there absolutely beautifully. And let's get the red poured first before I jinx myself. It actually has stayed fluid enough as well to be able to pour. Look at that. Oh, how lucky is that? I honestly thought we were going to have an accelerator then with just how much that riced. Alright, I'll get these finished scraped out, and then we will come back and we will do the top. Well, that didn't work, did it? I was going to do a spoon top, but the red's gone really chunky in this. I've absolutely wrecked that beautiful swirl, but hopefully we'll be able to pretty it up with our little embeds. So not quite what I was after, but we've got to get these embeds in before it sets up too much, and I want to kind of get them so they're kind of on one side of the soap. I am now just completely winging this because it's not come up how I wanted it to, but we're going to have one cherry slightly down from the other like so, making sure that I'm going to get them between my lines so we don't get any cut ones, and it should all come together in the end. So I'm going to just put them onto the one side, and then once my green has set up, we'll get that in a piping bag. We'll put a couple of stems on and some little leaves. Absolute shame that I've just wrecked the top of this. I really wanted a little spoon top in it, but just that the cherries could kind of look like they were sitting in a wave, but it is not to be. Unfortunately, the red in it has gone quite chunky, but you know, got pretty lucky there. It could have been a whole lot worse. It could have been soap in a pot, so at least we've got soap in a mold. So let me finish getting all these little cherries on, then I'll pop the green into my piping bag. I have got my piping bag, so we are on a coupler today. So I've started off with a round tip so I can do all the stems, and then I'm going to swap that tip out for a leaf tip and then pipe a couple of leaves onto the stem, and hopefully we can save the top of this soap. Cherry Blast is in the mold, and I'm actually now really happy with that. I was really worried I'd absolutely ruined the top of this, but those little cherries are looking absolutely perfect. I'm going to leave this one sit overnight. We'll be back in just a moment. We'll cut it open and see what drops we got in this one. Okay, we are back to cut into Cherry Blast, and it is smelling so good, so well worth it being a naughty fragrance. Let's get this one all lined up in the soap cutter, and then we'll take a look and see what drops that we got. Now hopefully we'll get this one lined up so we do miss the cherries. Hopefully we may have a few little leaves that become casualties. Alright, let's go for it. Let's see what happens. Oh, there's a couple of little cherries, but easily fixed. Okay, we are through. Let me stick my little cherry back. Alright, so let's take a look at what we've got. Oh, in the inside here. That is the drop that we've got. I don't often do drop swirls because, oh, I like that side. That looks like Santa. It's not meant to look like Santa, but you can see his big red hat with the white trim and then his beard around the bottom. That's a shame that this is going to come out too late for Christmas, but that does look like Santa on the other side. As I was going to say, I don't often do drop paws because I don't always like the patterns, to be honest. This one, it is quite nice. I still like it, especially that end piece there, but I usually find the drops to be quite boring in their patterns that they make. But I am actually quite pleased with how this one has come up. I probably should have, I don't know, I was hoping to get a few more, rather than these big white ones, I was hoping to get a few more big red ones and maybe look like cherries in there. But I am still really happy with how it's come up, and that is the top with our little bundle of cherries. So really pleased with how the top has come up, especially seeing as I thought I was going to wreck this soap completely. You can see that there were a few little issues with the ricing. I tend to find if I've had ricing, I get a lot more of this speckledy glycerin river style of look in them. So I know that I have had problems with the fragrance oil, but it's still going to be a great bar of soap. Smells absolutely amazing too. There is another one there, and there is the top. I love how the little cherries have come out on the top of them. They're so simple to make, and then just putting the leaves on at the end just really bring them all to life. So there it is. So that is how I have made my Cherry Blast soap. If you have enjoyed watching, why not leave me a thumbs up and any comments down below, because it does help the videos to get out to other people as well. And until the next video comes out, I hope you have a good one, and I will see you then. Bye.